Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist here at Tech Travel Geeks. And this is the Tech Travel Geeks video where we're going to set up the Google Pixel 6 Pro. If you haven't already seen our latest video, in that one we unboxed the device and had a quick look at the hardware. This time we're going to go through the whole setup and look at a few new things on the Google Pixel 6 Pro. Now the first thing we need to do is find out which side they've put the SIM tray on. And in this case it's the left-hand side whilst you're facing the screen. So it's here. And you just need to use a normal SIM ejector tool, pop out the SIM tray, and in this case there's only space for one SIM card. There we go. So I've popped that in, and now we can put that into our smartphone. Great. Now let's long press the power button. The power button is placed just above the volume rocker here. So I'll just long press on that, and we'll see the switch on of that lovely big AMOLED screen. And that AMOLED screen in this case is a 6.71 inch diagonal one, and it's 1440 by 3120 pixels. So it's more than full HD+. Now, this is really cool. We have a screen saying welcome to your Pixel, English United Kingdom, that's great. And as you can see, there's that little bouncing thing there. That's got haptic feedback when it touches the form at the bottom. And this is obviously part of the whole Material You theme that comes with Android in this instance. So at the moment I'm going to select and connect to my Futurama-friendly Wi-Fi network. So that should be me now connecting. And the first impressions are, this feels like a really polished device. Not only in the hardware, but the theming going on in Material You here. Now it says that it may take a few minutes to get the phone ready. Usually that's not the case. Speaking of cases, I already have a few to put on the device and keep it safe. And we're looking to get some screen protectors as well, to give you an idea of what we believe are the best accessories for the Google Pixel 6 Pro. Anyway, those will be future videos. Make sure you're subscribed to the Tech Travel Geeks and have that notification bell turned on to be notified when we do release new videos. So, as this is going, I'm not going to copy any apps and data. I'm going to go through a fresh new setup because that's how I really like it. New phone every time. And it's checking info. Now I need to sign into my Google account. Okay then, so I've signed into my Google account. I agree. This is actually the second time I've done this today. Previously I did it with the Honor 50. For which we have a setup and unboxing video already on the channel that's been quite popular. So if you'd like to see the difference between the two, you can check that out. I'm now going to set up a super secure PIN. There we go. And now it's prompting us to set up Fingerprint Unlock. So it's the usual warnings about your Fingerprint Unlock. And so you need to put your finger down on the screen where this indicator is. So it's an in-screen fingerprint scanner. And as you can see from the light blasting through my finger, it is one of the optical fingerprint scanners which is working quite well in this instance. It seems to be reading my thumb quite quickly. So there we go, I've added my fingerprint. Let's continue with the setup and see what else they provide. So they suggest I use Talk to Google hands-free, so that's the Google Assistant. I'm going to agree to that. And I probably don't need to do voice match here because I've set it up so many times with my devices. They have a good idea of who I am and how I can trigger the assistant very, very easily. Now this is very, very shiny. It's the curved screen in many ways is reminiscent of other devices I've used over the years. It definitely has a premium build. Now these are all different settings that I can change. There's nothing I really want to change at the moment. We might do that at a later point. So this says get more tips and tricks. Yes. Not tricks or treats. It's coming up to Halloween, less than a week away. And this is now going through the gesture navigation on the Pixel 6 Pro. So swipe to go home. Go back. So let's learn how to switch apps. So there we go. So we're now in the home screen of in this case, the Sorta Sunny Pixel 6 Pro. So this is Sorta Sunny. Our Chief Aperture Officer, Lukasz, in this case has the cloudy white version. And we will be doing some extensive coverage of the Pixel 6 Pro here on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel. And as you can see, we have welcome to your new Pixel at the top, some stunning picture in the background just showing off how good that OLED or AMOLED screen is, and a prompt to use the app drawer. So this is the new Android 12. Let's have a look at it very briefly. So this is Google Pixel 6 Pro, Android 12, we can see that here. And let's see if there's any updates available for me. System update. So there is already one downloading, 73 megabytes. This is probably that sort of semi-final build of Android 12 that we've been hearing about. Now, lots of different settings to go through here. I'll just take you through a few of the basic ones that I usually go through in terms of what I do. So let's start with Gboard. Language and input. Language is an input, English. Gboard. Now, some preferences here I prefer not having haptic feedback on key press. I prefer not having glide typing on. And maybe changing the theme to something a bit darker. So we have a dynamic color one. We probably leave that on. But I usually go for something like this, which is a dark gradient. And I take the keyboarders away. That's my preferred keyboard. And here we have, oh look, there's Chris, whilst the apps are updating in the background. And let's load up the Play Store and see what needs to be updated, what's not already set up, and see how we get on. Google Play is definitely taking a while to get going. Now we've gone with our keyboard. I actually almost forgot one thing. Need to add a language. Italian. So I use an Italian keyboard to communicate with friends in Italian. It's one of my most typed languages. There we go. So as you can see, this is Android 12, and you can see the tone, the theme here is yellow. It almost matches that Sorta Sunny background, and the operating system mirrors that. Now if we were to go into the wallpaper section, we can change the wallpaper to something else. Let's change it to something brightish, such as this wonderful bit of art. So let's go for the home screen. Set it for both home screen and lock screen. And see, it's brighter. You get to see the dotch. That's the notch dotch where the 12 megapixel camera, or sorry, 11.1 megapixel selfie camera is placed. And not only that, the operating system will slightly change its tone. So it'll be a slightly different color, or in this case very similar because the underlying color is the same. But let's change that again. Wallpaper. Let's change that to something maybe a bit darker. Quite a few nice wallpapers to choose from here as default on the Google Pixel 6 Pro. So I'm setting everything home and lock screen, and this is a much bluer color, and as you can see my operating system tone has changed to match that, even in dark mode, and it's quite pleasant to see. See, there's our friend Chris from TechSpert holding up two phones, like they're prizes or something. And yeah, watch his videos. We do quite enjoy his jokes on tech reviews and unboxings. There's the Honor 50, which we recently did an unboxing and setup video of, and that's exactly the color we have here, and we're putting through its paces for a review. So lots of cool features here. It is buttery smooth. Let's just check the screen settings for that. So we've got the display. I have adaptive brightness put on, lock screen timeout. Colors are set to adaptive. I'm going to go with boosted. Let's live life a bit to the boosted end. So smooth display automatically raises the refresh rate from 60 to 120 Hz for some content, increases battery usage. Okay, so that means that the 120 Hz display is enabled. And let's just see how our Google Play updates are going. So setup is complete, but Google Play isn't starting. Maybe I need to actually finish the setup. I really enjoy these animations. Let's not copy this information. We already have my account info and everything set up, so that should be done. Gosh, it says a few minutes a few times. I wonder what's going on in the background. Material U. I have to say, this, as far as a flagship smartphone experience, that setup was a bit clunky, in the sense that my whole experience seems to have gone through restarting the setup, and now the screen's blanked on me. That might be the Play Store that blanked on me. But now everything's set up. It's very odd. We don't have access to the Play Store. And so let's go back to settings and have a look at that. Maybe it's the background update that's happening. It's optimizing apps. So the Google Play Store may be one of them. No. That's it. So somehow we've managed to get back on track. So there's still 40 updates happening here. In terms of pre-installed apps and services, this seems to be all Google. So you can see that we have all the Google apps, and let's just press update all. It shouldn't take too long. So you have all the Android Auto and Accessibility Suite apps. You have Digital Wellbeing, Gmail, Files, Google Calendar, all the good stuff is there, as well as a few extras such as voice access, YouTube Music. This is good. So whilst these update, we'll just go and have a quick look at some of the things we can set up, and My Vodafone seems to have come up immediately. Now, if you remember, we did specifically said don't copy any apps. I think this My Vodafone app popping up is because we set up the device with a Vodafone SIM card. If you remember at the beginning, we put that in. And by default, Google must have an agreement with the network operators to take those apps and pop them onto the phone as they're being set up, so you have easy access to your account. So for example, this is my account. Oh, I'll do this later. But you see I have the Vodafone app installed, and so I don't need to go and search for it in the Play Store and potentially get another Vodafone app installed by accident. And it's quite common, especially with networks that have a presence in different markets. Anyway, so that's it. A few things that we will be spending a lot of time on here at Tech Travel Geeks will be the Google Pixel 6 Pro's performance in terms of cameras. Obviously on the back we have the main camera, which in this case is a 50 megapixel one, 48 megapixel telephoto, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And I'm really interested to see how this performs from a photography standpoint. Also from a video standpoint, I'll be wanting to put it through its paces. Let's see if the fingerprint scanner is as bad as people are saying. No, it doesn't seem to be. Let's try it again. No, great. So whilst that's happening, we still have 22 updates to go. I'll start lining up the other apps that I use. So Telegram is my preferred messenger app. I'm going to install that. And then Pocket Casts. That's my preferred audio player for podcasts. Audible for audiobooks. You can see a theme here. Media first. Then all the usual Facebook apps. So Facebook Actual, Twitter, Instagram, Messenger, so as I install these apps, interestingly, the phone is starting to get warm. Obviously there's a lot going on, all the radios are on, getting those apps available and ready. And as we go through our list of apps, there's still 12 updates and 7 installs in progress. And we're not even done here. So Instagram. Done that. TikTok, let's install that as well. Other apps, obviously Amazon Shopping, need that one. Yahoo. And one of my favorites for messing around with pictures, Prisma. And I have a yearly subscription with them. It's an app I enjoy so much that I've renewed that a couple of times now. So there we go. I think that in terms of setup, this was fairly easy. I'm deeply embedded in the Google ecosystem. It makes me happy. It does everything I need it to do. And so there's only a few extra apps to install to improve my smartphone experience. If you made it this far and enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube to have more content about the Google Pixel 6 Pro, about other smartphones, mobile technology, and any gadgetry, accessories, or technology we believe makes the travel experience better. For now, thanks for watching, and goodbye from me.